Yeah, so I put this slide in here that kind of summarizes what's been reported from clinical studies so far. And what you kind of see that during the experience itself, things like anxiety, emotional comfort, dizziness, fatigue, headache, jaw clenching, probably because it's a stimulant type of thing. This is a very common side effect with stimulants. Decreased appetite and nausea are all really common, like more than 40%ers. For me personally, like looking at that sort of side effect list, the one that sort of stands out as like, huh, that one's interesting is fatigue, because I think of MDMA as something that increases energy rather than leaves a person feeling fatigued. And I don't know for sure, but I sort of suspect that it has to do with the clinical population that they are looking at. In that in PTSD, oftentimes the person is very hypervigilant and running a lot of energy through their body. And it may actually be that MDMA provides such a nice anxiolytic effect that once that hypervigilance kind of dissipates, what the person's like really left with is a sense of deep sort of fatigue. So that may be more of like how MDMA interacts with a person that has PTSD rather than just an intrinsic effect of MDMA, because in a nightlife or recreational ecstasy setting, it's associated with increased energy and kind of dancing around. That could definitely be a piece of it, and adulteration, substitution, misrepresentation in the world of MDMA is really common. But just MDMA, even if you had pure MDMA in a nightlife setting, it would typically enhance the amount of energy that you have.
Okay.
MDMA is also, or I would say like more like ecstasy, is really known for this kind of, I'll say like neurotoxic hangover effect. So they've been sort of tracking that in clinical trials as well. And they have noticed that transiently, for a period of around 3 to 7 days afterwards, some of the persons did feel like there was a little bit more anxiety, insomnia, irritability. They had some difficulty concentrating. Maybe their mood was a little bit lower. However, for the clinical benefit that they gained in reduction of PTSD symptoms, it really kind of seems that these weak after effects are fairly mild and tolerable, and are probably reported in a more extreme way in recreational environments due to exactly misrepresentation, mixing with other substances, massive doses, staying up all night. There's a lot of reasons why MDMA in recreational settings could produce a higher level of neurotoxicity than what they've really observed in clinical studies so far. And they have been monitoring this. They've been monitoring the person's neurocognitive function throughout studies and haven't found deleterious effects or changes, at least that are persistent, right? There's that sort of like week after transient sort of effects. Low doses of MDMA may have some sort of risks to them. It seems that they were using very low doses of MDMA, like 30 milligrams of active controls for a while. And it seemed that was actually sort of bringing up symptoms of trauma, but not offering much in the way of resolution for people.